Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today we are here to talk about my May TBR. So I'm going to show you 6 books that are definitely on my list to read this month. I have a couple review books. I have some buddy reads going on. So I'll show you what those are, and then we are going to pick a couple from my TBR jar as well, and I am really excited to do that one. Okay, so let's talk about review books first. I have 2 for sure. The first one is How Not to Die Alone, and this is by Richard Roper, and this comes out on May 28th. So this does come out towards the end of the month, so that's probably when my review is going to be going up more towards the release date. But this is an adult contemporary, and it follows a man who kind of takes his time to reach out to find families of dead people who didn't have anyone at their funerals. So kind of trying to find people to be able to notify them when other people couldn't do that. And yeah, I've heard very good things about it so far, and I'm excited to read it myself and see what I think. The second review book I have comes out May 13th, and that is The Young Honeymooners. This is by Christina Lauren. I cannot wait to read this book. I'm probably going to grab a physical copy of it. I do have a copy on my Kindle already, but man, the cover is just so gorgeous and I can't wait to read it. So I know I'm going to be getting myself a copy anyway, so I might as well just wait till it comes out before I read and review it. But it will be sometime within the month. I'll have a separate review video for that. And I am just so excited for this one. This follows a wedding where everybody, including the bride in the room, get food poisoning, and they find themselves not able to go on their honeymoon because of it, because they're just too sick. So they send 2 different people from their wedding party who did not get sick on their honeymoon. These 2 people hate each other, but they have to pretend they're married. And I'm sure it's going to be crazy adorable, and I cannot wait to read it. Okay, so one read-along that I'm doing for the month of May is the continuation of The Throne of Glass, read-along by Sarah J. Maas. And then this month we're going to be reading Assassin's Blade, which is the 5-novella bind-up of 5 prequel novellas that kind of lead up to where Selena gets captured and she's in jail, which is where Throne of Glass starts. And I'm so excited for this one. I remember reading these stories and just loving them so much. I flew through it really quickly, so I think this is going to be a fast one for me. But I will do a reading vlog for this as well, so that will be up sometime in the month of May, where I will talk about the 5 novellas, and I'll probably go into depth with all of them. So be on the lookout for that sometime, maybe mid-May, maybe towards the end, just to give myself time to read and record all that stuff. But I am super excited for this one. And if you want to follow along with the Throne of Glass read along, if you want to jump in, it's not too late. If you want to get started on it, I will leave the Twitter page down below for you guys. But it's being hosted by 2 different booktubers, and I'm excited to keep going. One of my buddy reads that I'm actually starting right now is Wondersmith by Jessica Townsend. I'm reading this along with Kelly. Reread the first book, Nevermore, a couple months ago, and I absolutely loved that book. It's been my favorite of the year so far, so I'm really excited to get to number 2, and we're probably going to fly through this one. We're both just like, let's just go for it. I'm pretty sure we're going to fly through it anyway, the way we flew through the first one. This follows a young girl. I can give you kind of the premise of Nevermore. I don't know about Wondersmith yet because I don't know what's going to happen in here. But from the first book, we follow a young girl who believes that she's cursed because of the day that she's born. And she is fully prepared to die on her 11th birthday, which is kind of the prophecy that happens with anyone born on this day. So she has accepted her fate. She's ready to go. But this man named Jupiter North comes in and rescues her and takes her to a place that she never knew existed called Nevermore. And he has chosen her to be his nomination to get into this magical school. And she has to go through all these different trials to prove her worth to get into the school. And it's not a lot of people are going to get into it. So it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. It gave me all the Harry Potter vibes I was really been craving for. And I'm excited to go on to the next one for sure. And the next buddy read I'm going to be doing with my friend Jamie, and that is Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. I cannot wait to read this book. I loved Strange the Dreamer. It was one of my favorites last year. It was a huge surprise on how much I loved that book. And this is the sequel to it, and it's a duology, so this will be the final one. I can't wait to get back into this world and to see what's going to happen. The way that Strange the Dreamer left off on, I really wanted more, and I ordered this book immediately afterwards, and I'm very excited. So I'm going to be reading that this month. And there's one little readathon that I'm going to be participating in for this month. It's called the True Crimeathon, and you take the week of May 21st through the 28th, and you read books that are based on true crimes. And there's some prompts that you can follow along if you want to. I'm going to pick one book to read for that week just because I have some other things I want to read, but this is one that's definitely on my list and I want to get to it sooner rather than later. And that is The Stranger Beside Me by Anne Rule. This is one of my 5-star predictions, and it's something I would definitely want to read first because there's going to be a Netflix movie about Ted Bundy starring Zac Efron coming out this May, and I really, really want to see it. So I want to read this first, and then I can, turn around and watch the movie right after that. So I do plan to read this book during that week. I'll probably tab it out so I have, kind of an even number of pages to read every day because this is a very long book. But I am incredibly excited to read this. If you want more information on the readathon for the True Crime-a-thon, I will leave the announcement video down below. It's being hosted by Rachel is Booked, and I'm not going to have a separate video for it just because I'm only going to read one. So I'm just going to announce it here and then let that be it. But when I showed this to you guys in my 5-star predictions, a lot of you guys were saying like, this is really good. And now we get to the fun part. I'm going to use my TBR jar this month. I have recently revamped this. I did a whole video on it. If you want to see that, I'll leave it linked down below, but I have some prompts in here. And these are not specific books to read. These are just prompts to guide me toward something, and then I pick from there. So I'm still kind of mood reading, or still kind of just, hey, think about this category. What could you pick from this category? Oh, I can do this one. Cool. So I think this is going to be a little bit more successful for me. Fingers crossed. But every time I pick out a prompt from here, I'm going to replace it with another one. So I have some backups here as well. So when I do replace one, I'll let you know what I'm putting in the jar. But this is very random. I did take some of your suggestions that you guys left for me on the other video. You left me some really good prompt ideas, and I did take some of the ones that I really thought were cool, and I put them in here as well. So we're going to see what pops up. But I think for the month of May, we're going to start a little slow, guys. I'm not going to pick too many because I don't want to overwhelm myself. So let's start out with 3 this month and see how it goes. And then we can go from there if I want to do more or less or whatever. So let's do 3. So I'm going to pick this one. Okay, so our first prompt is, The Great American Read. Okay, so I need to pick something from the Great American Reads list. I have a shelf in my bedroom that has all of the books that I own for the Great American Reads that I have not read. So let's go see what's on there. Okay, so the one that I picked for this, the one that kind of stood out to me on my shelf, I wanted to pick something a little bit shorter because I have some big books I'm reading this month, but I picked up The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. Now, this is a book that every time I talk about it, people tell me how good it is. It is pretty short, and I believe it has an autistic main character, from what I'm understanding, but it comes highly recommended from a lot of you guys. Every time I talk about it, you guys are like, read that, it's really good. So we will see, but I'm going to go ahead and put it on my list this month. Okay, so since I picked one out, I'm going to replace it with another one. I'm going to do it a little bit blindly, but I do have a few things written down on here. So let's pick this one. Okay, this is top author. So this can be like a book by one of my favorite authors, because I have a few favorite authors, and then definitely some authors that I just want to read more from for sure. So I could kind of use that. I didn't want to do my absolute favorite author because that's really only one. It's a little bit too limiting, but top author is going to go in here, and we'll mix it up and we'll pick another one. Let's see. Let's do this one. Oh, okay. So this one is top 9 list. That is one of my top books I want to read in 2019. I'm going to leave this one in the jar though, because that does refer specifically to this year. So I do probably want to pull that out another time. But yeah, so I'll go over to my book cart and see what's on there for the top of 2019 that I haven't read yet that I'm going to read this month. Okay, so from my top 9, I picked one that I actually wanted to read in April, but I didn't end up getting to it, and that is Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. I was planning to read this in April. It was on my TBR, but I didn't end up getting to this one, so I'm going to roll it over into May, but this is definitely one of the 9 books I want to read this year. Okay, let's do one more. Let's see what else is going to pop up. Okay. Okay. First in a series. Okay. Let's see. Oh gosh, there's so many. Oh, what would I pick? That took really long for me to decide. Like, which series am I going to start? Because I didn't know. I wasn't sure what I was going to pick. But I ended up picking a series that I'm collecting. I do have the first 3 books in it. The 4th book is out, but I haven't purchased it yet. I was kind of just like, start it and see if you like it first type thing. So I picked up The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith, which is also J.K. Rowling. So this is the first book in a detective series, and it's Cormoran Strike, I believe is his name. I've heard really good things about it. So I enjoy like detective series. So I think if it's something that you enjoy, you're probably going to like this one is what I'm hearing. So I do enjoy that. And yeah, I'm going to put this on my TBR for this month. Okay, guys, so that is 9 books for the month of May. I think that's pretty realistic for me. We will see if anything else can get snuck in there. Maybe here and there, we'll see. But I am planning to kind of slow down on my reading a little bit this month because I have other things I want to get back to. Now that my class is over, I have some other projects I want to start working on. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm not planning to have as big of a wrap up as I did for the month of April. That was insane. Let me know down below if you guys have read any of these books. Let me know what you're planning to read for the month of May, any new releases you're excited about, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day. Bye.